What is going on in this house? This is the scariest house in America. Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode. Today we're going to be discussing the Sallie House here in Kansas. If you are familiar with this case, please let me know in the comments below how much I'm messing up, because it is very important to me that I do and mess up on this one. The Sallie House is a well-known haunted house here in Kansas, and if you are from Kansas or you have ever visited, chances are you have heard about this house. Or if you love haunted houses, chances are you probably already know about this house. I want to start off by saying I do not normally cover haunted places, but every now and then I will come across one that piques my interest, and this is one of those cases. I'm also making this video because a lot of the information surrounding this house is incorrect. I want to clear some things up, because this is an ongoing investigation. If you do enjoy this video, and you want to see more videos like this in the future, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can be notified when I post a new video. I'll also make sure to link previous episodes in the description box below. Now, this video is going to be a little bit different from other episodes I've done in the past. This will be more of a storytelling type video rather than reading from a script. So I'm sorry if I forget some details. But everything I am saying in this video is coming straight from my head. Before we get into the video, I just want to say thank you to everybody who has been supporting me. It really means a lot to me. I never thought I would be able to do this full time. So thank you all so much. Now let's get into the video. Susan and Don Piper moved to this home in 1991. They purchased the home from Helen Viola. Helen Viola had lived in the home her whole life until she was around 74 years old. She lived there with her husband and 3 kids. There were rumors circulating around town that Helen's kids killed her husband and then buried him underneath the house. When the Pipers found out about these rumors, they asked Helen about them, and she said that they were false and that he had died of natural causes. After living in the house for a few months, Susan and Don began experiencing strange phenomena. They began hearing footsteps, doors opening and closing on their own, shaking beds, and even seeing apparitions. One day while Susan was watering the plants outside, she saw a full apparition of a woman in Victorian nightgown standing at the window. Then she turned and walked down the hallway. Susan went inside to tell Don what she had seen, but when Don went to go look, the apparition was gone. One night while Don was watching TV in the basement, he heard a piano start playing upstairs. He went to investigate, and the piano stopped. He started to hear music coming from the piano, and he could have sworn he saw the ghost of a young girl playing the piano. Don and Susan also reported seeing the full apparition of a young girl in a Victorian nightgown. There were also 2 children who seemed to inhabit the second floor of the house. They would shake the beds and push the rocking chair on the porch. In 1994, paranormal investigators from MUFON visited the house. During the investigation, a digital voice recorder picked up a voice saying, "Let me out, let me out." They tried to communicate with the spirits in the home, and the spirit said that it was a boy who was trapped in the house, and he wanted to get out. Later in the investigation, they were told his name was Billy. Throughout the years, many paranormal investigators have investigated the home, including ghost adventures, kindred spirits, ghost hunters, and many others. Now, this is where the story gets a little weird. In 1998, Susan Piper wrote a book called The True Story of the Sallie House. In the book, she claimed that the ghost of Sallie was trying to help her with messages through automatic writing. Through automatic writing, Sallie told Susan that she had died in the house and that her remains were buried underneath the house. Sallie also informed Susan that the other ghosts in the house were Helen Viola, Helen's son James, her daughter Mary, and Mary's son Billy. Sallie told Susan that Helen was killed in the basement and that Billy died of a brain tumor. In the book, Susan says that she and Don tried to contact Helen to ask her what happened to her husband. But instead of giving them answers, Helen showed Susan and Don where her underground root cellar was located. After the incident, Susan and Don decided to leave the house. It was at this point that news outlets started to pick up the story, and it exploded. From doing research on this case, I haven't been able to find anything that backs up that claim that Helen was killed in the basement or that Billy died of a brain tumor. Now, I did read in one place that Helen's husband did die in the house, but it didn't say that Helen killed him. It also didn't say that Billy died in the house. Now, after reading the story that was published by Reader's Digest, I think that Susan and Don created this to sell books and to make the story more interesting. Because if you look back on the original stories that were published by local news stations, none of this information was in those articles. It wasn't until Susan's book was published that all of that information surfaced, and that is very convenient. If you are wondering why I keep calling the ghost Sallie, it is because most of the time her name is spelled with all capital letters, which is why I assume that is how it is pronounced. So currently, the home is being investigated by a team of paranormal investigators. They have done some amazing work. And if you want to check out their Facebook page, I will make sure to link it in the description box below. They have done experiments in the house, and they have some pretty interesting results. One thing I found really interesting was during one of their investigations, they used a thermal camera, and they picked up a little girl walking down the stairs. God. As far as I know, the current owners of the home do plan on fixing it up and opening it to the public for tours. And when they do open the house for tours, they are going to be doing live paranormal investigations while people are touring the house. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Also, if you have any information on this case that I may have missed, please let me know in the comments below. Thank you again for watching. I'll see you next time.